Welcome to part 2 of our California and Arizona adventures. On this leg of the journey, we arrive in Quartzsite, Arizona to begin our lithium and solar upgrades. We purchased a 14-day dry camping pass at the Bureau of Land Management. This provided us with a place to stay, water, sewer dump, and trash. Just the basics, but it's all we needed. We spent our first night at La Posa South and found some pretty cool artwork to camp next to, and we enjoyed another beautiful sunset. The next morning we arrive at Solar Bills to begin phase 1 of our install. The project began with the removal of our original 110-volt air conditioner and installing the new Valette 12-volt unit. I will make a separate video about this unit after we get a chance to really test it out with some hot days. What we had figured to take about 3 hours ended up being a whole lot more. New DC connections had to be run through ceiling panels, through cabinets, and down walls. It was not an easy task, but our installer Bill was a trooper and never gave up on the job. We really appreciated his efforts. Next began our install of lithium batteries and solar panels. The folks at Solar Bills were very accommodating and let us overnight in their parking lot. They even had water and electrical hookups. There were several other people getting work done as well, and in the evening they built a campfire so we could all sit around and get to know each other. They worked well past closing time to get our job done in one day so that we could have our van back to sleep in. We were encouraged to stay an additional 24 hours to let all the adhesives cure. I'm glad we did, because that night Quartzsite had 60+ mile-an-hour winds. Before we left, we made sure to visit the Quartzsite jail. This jail has some amazing history. Be sure to ask Gus about it when you're there. He tells a pretty good story. We also visited the High Jolly Monument. It's an interesting story of a camel driver coming to the U.S. in 1856 to drive camels for the U.S. Cavalry. We also visited the Veterans Memorial Freedom Garden. It's a remarkable tribute to those who served our country, and thank you to those who keep it looking so nice. Then a quick stop at the Tyson Wells game store to pick up a new cribbage board before we left town. Then we moved over to La Posa North, this time to test out our new solar and lithium setup. Everything worked so well, we had no problem keeping our batteries above 90%. It was nice to just slow down for a bit and relax.
name.
Desert sunsets are so pretty. I don't think I could ever get enough of this. Okay, this is what we would call a wash, of which you don't want to camp in. Because if it starts to rain, all the water. Surprise, surprise, I found somebody.
Hey!
Hey, fancy meeting you in the middle of the desert.
We're in the desert.
Do you have a name?
Don't need no name.
Don't need no name. Who needs a name?
Okay.
Yeah, if you hold my hand. You go down first, then hold my hand. Is a raccoon gonna get us?
No, we got a guard dog.
Is a giant rat gonna get us? Hey, it's a wash.
What street we got?
Whichever you want.
Go down the street.
Watch out for stickers. Don't make our little boy stick in stickers.
What did you say about stickers?
He was walking through stickers.
Oh. A wash. Into a wash.
He was smelling this bush a whole bunch.
Right?
He was smelling up inside that tree bush a whole bunch. Something juicy.
Tight corners here.
Well, I don't want to get stickers. Because he wants to smell. Watch your head.
Quite the overgrowth.
Yeah. Looks like a storm's coming. Okay.
Want to walk up and walk back down?
Okay. Look over there. Dark clouds. Are we gonna go some more? Brr, I'm cold.
Slope you up a mountain.
Okay. I'm cold. Oh, we go. Ah. That took some time. Here, put all the green ones, outline with the white ones.
All the white ones for borders.
Brr. Temp is dropping. kind of cute though how people do all this rock art. Look at here, stripes. Mm-hmm. Pretty in depth. It's over here. I was trying to make out what that was, but I think it's just colors.
I've had enough. It's starting to get cold. No, not yet. Now.
We really enjoyed our time in Quartzsite, but it was time to start heading west for Phase 3 of Waldo's upgrades. But we had a few more adventures along the way. We traveled south on Highway 95 and stopped at a fun roadside produce market. Great produce and reasonably priced. Then it was time to get over to Yuma and stock up on even more groceries. We traveled along the Imperial Highway to reach Senator's Wash. Sometimes life on the road isn't all about sunsets and margaritas. Sometimes you have to take a time out to fix a water pump. Huh, honey?
Yeah.
But water pump fixed, it was time to meet up with George and Mary, friends Wads had went to school with in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They were camping on the north shore of the reservoir. I was a bit unsure of the road getting there, but they seemed very certain that we could make it with no problems, so off we went. And this is where things got very interesting. Okay, darn right scary for me. I can assure you the video footage does this no justice. It was steep, rough, and rocky road. For a high-clearance vehicle, this would have been no problem, but for a touring van with minimal road clearance, it was a challenge. Also keep in mind that this is a camper van, loaded with pots and pans and dishes, etc. It sounded like a magnitude 10 earthquake inside the van. When we got to the bottom, I said no and wanted to turn around. Wads was hesitant to try to turn us around in a sandy wash, and after a few attempts and almost getting stuck with the trailer, he said that we had to continue up the other side in order to turn around. I was not a happy camper. The beginning of the climb wasn't too bad, but near the top I could see it got more rough, and Wad said he knew he was really in trouble when I stopped talking. The road leveled out at the top, and I said, okay, let's keep going. I really wasn't looking forward to going back through that. But it only got worse. This is where we decided this wasn't going to happen. We had to turn around. We stopped for a few minutes so I could get settled down before we went back down the crazy road. And as you can see in the video, off to the right where the other campers were, that's where we had to get to. This was a really steep ravine, and later I found out that it is considered a four-wheel drive road. We decided that we would just stay on the south side of the reservoir, and as we went down the road to the south side, we saw this road here off to the left, and I suspected that that was the road we were supposed to take in order to get to the north side of the reservoir. We were able to confirm that the next day. We weren't able to meet up with our friends on the first night, but we sure had an enjoyable, peaceful night on the south shore of the reservoir. The next day we followed George over to the north shore of the reservoir and we spent a fun couple days camping with friends. Tree full of birds. I had never seen buzzards circling and roosting in a tree like this. At least that's I think they were doing. And all too soon, it was time to leave. The drive out was fairly simple and we had no issues. Watch for our next video as we continue our journey. Thanks again for watching and being patient with me as I learn some new video editing software and get a little more comfortable with being on camera. See you soon!